Have you ever experienced that feeling when your mind just won't quiet down? When ideas, worries, or mental images race through your head at 100 miles an hour, making it impossible to focus, relax, or even sleep? It's like your brain is an engine stuck in overdrive, churning out thought after thought without a moment's pause. This often leaves you feeling utterly drained, mentally exhausted, and maybe even a little overwhelmed. This experience is known as racing thoughts, and it's a far more common struggle than you might imagine. In today's episode, we're going to delve into what racing thoughts truly are, why they happen, and most importantly, what practical steps you can take to regain a sense of calm and control over your busy mind. We'll demystify this often confusing phenomenon, offering clarity and actionable strategies to help you navigate it more effectively. Let's begin by clearly defining what we mean by racing thoughts. Imagine a fast-moving river of ideas, worries, or mental images. This stream is constant, rapid, and often feels uncontrollable. It makes it incredibly difficult to concentrate on a single task or simply relax. Now, it's important to distinguish racing thoughts from a few other mental experiences. For instance, they're different from intrusive thoughts, which are typically theme-specific, often distressing, and might focus on a particular fear or image. Racing thoughts, on the other hand, jump quickly between different topics without any clear direction or central theme. They're also distinct from flight of ideas. While both involve rapidly shifting thoughts, flight of ideas often means thoughts are linked by very superficial associations, like rhyming words or a minor distraction in the environment. This pattern is usually observable in a person's speech and is more commonly associated with conditions like psychosis and mania. Racing thoughts, however, can often be a silent, internal struggle, even if your speech isn't noticeably pressured. This topic of racing thoughts is gaining significant attention, and for good reason. In our fast-paced world, stress is rampant, triggering our body's ancient fight-or-flight response, which can really rev up the mind. We're also increasingly aware of the crucial link between sleep and mental well-being. That common experience of waking up at 3 a.m. with an unstoppable torrent of thoughts is a testament to this. Furthermore, racing thoughts are a symptom across a wide range of common mental health conditions, from generalized anxiety disorder and panic disorder to ADHD, OCD, PTSD, and even conditions like bipolar disorder. With the rise of digital mental wellness platforms and new technological interventions, more people are seeking and finding resources to understand and manage these challenging mental states. So, why does our brain sometimes get stuck in this rapid-fire mode? At its core, racing thoughts are often linked to the overactivity of specific brain regions, particularly the amygdala, which processes emotions, the prefrontal cortex, involved in executive functions, and the hippocampus, crucial for memory. These areas, when they should be winding down, can become hyperactive. Several factors can contribute to this overactivity. On the psychological front, acute and chronic stress are major culprits, alongside intense emotions and the sheer information overload we face daily. Sleep disturbances, like inadequate sleep or chronic insomnia, significantly exacerbate racing thoughts, especially at night when the world is quiet, but our minds are not. Certain substances can also trigger them, notably stimulants like caffeine or recreational drugs, and sometimes even prescription medications. And as we mentioned, a broad spectrum of mental health conditions can manifest with racing thoughts, including various anxiety disorders, mood disorders, ADHD, OCD, and PTSD. Less commonly, medical conditions like stroke or traumatic brain injury can also be underlying causes. Understanding these triggers is the first step toward managing them.
Shifting to acknowledge public questions and nuances. Now, one of the biggest questions people often ask is, how do I know if my overthinking is actually racing thoughts that need attention? This is a crucial distinction. We all have busy minds sometimes, but when racing thoughts become persistent, overwhelming, and start to significantly interfere with your daily life, your ability to concentrate at work, enjoy social interactions, or get restful sleep, that's when it moves beyond typical overthinking and warrants professional consideration. The close association of racing thoughts with so many different conditions, anxiety, ADHD, bipolar disorder, also creates diagnostic challenges. It's important to remember that experiencing racing thoughts doesn't automatically mean you have a specific diagnosis. They are a symptom, a signal your brain is sending. A professional assessment is vital to understand the full picture and determine if an underlying condition is present. Also, while diagnostic criteria for some conditions link racing thoughts to pressured speech, where someone talks rapidly and incessantly, many individuals experience racing thoughts purely internally, without an observable increase in their speech rate. Your internal experience is just as valid and deserving of attention. Ultimately, the goal isn't just to quiet the racing thoughts themselves, but to understand and address the underlying emotional dysregulation or mental health condition that gives rise to them. This leads us to the heart of the matter. What can we actually do to help? The good news is that there are many effective strategies and interventions. Let's start with self-care and lifestyle adjustments, which form a crucial foundation. Prioritizing good sleep hygiene is paramount. This means establishing a consistent bedtime routine, turning off screens at least an hour before bed, dimming the lights, perhaps engaging in light yoga or meditation, or even journaling to brain dump your thoughts before your head hits the pillow. Regular physical exercise is another powerful tool, as it helps to burn off excess energy and regulate mood. When your mind is in overdrive, mindfulness and grounding techniques can be incredibly helpful. These approaches teach you to acknowledge your thoughts without judgment, just noticing them rather than getting entangled in them, and gently refocusing on the present moment. Simple grounding exercises like identifying 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste can bring you back to the here and now. For those struggling with sleep, a fascinating technique called cognitive shuffling involves intentionally engaging in random, disconnected thinking, which can mimic the natural thought patterns that precede sleep onset. Journaling is another powerful cognitive strategy. Getting those racing thoughts out of your head and onto paper can create a sense of distance and relief. While self-management is powerful, sometimes professional intervention is necessary and highly beneficial. Psychotherapy, particularly cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT, can provide you with practical tools to identify and challenge unhelpful thought patterns that fuel racing thoughts. Psychoeducation can offer a deeper understanding of your condition, and strategies to strengthen social functioning can help build supportive networks. If an underlying mental health disorder is diagnosed, appropriate medication prescribed by a qualified professional can significantly reduce the intensity and frequency of racing thoughts. It's important to note that there isn't one specific medication just for racing thoughts. Rather, medication targets the underlying condition that causes them.
As we look to the future, the landscape for addressing racing thoughts is evolving rapidly. We're seeing a greater integration of technology, with AI-driven tools emerging to offer personalized interventions, smart journaling aids, and virtual therapeutic support. This means more accessible and tailored care for more people. Continued research into the neurobiological underpinnings of racing thoughts will undoubtedly lead to deeper understanding and more targeted, effective treatments. We're moving towards more precise diagnoses and individualized treatment plans, ensuring that both the symptom itself and its root causes are effectively addressed. And crucially, efforts to improve the accessibility of professional mental health services, alongside a balanced approach to self-management techniques, will remain central to helping individuals find peace of mind. Racing thoughts can feel isolating and overwhelming, but they are a common human experience, and crucially, they are manageable. By understanding what they are, what triggers them, and by employing a blend of self-care strategies and professional support when needed, you can absolutely regain a sense of calm and control over your inner world. Remember, your mental well-being is a journey, and every step you take towards understanding and nurturing your mind is a step in the right direction. Be patient, be kind to yourself, and know that help and strategies are available to quiet the noise and find your inner peace.